You're tuned in to Oilers Nation every day with Tyler Yaremchuk, live every weekday on the Nation Network YouTube.
Last live show from Florida. Welcome into Oilers Nation every day, coming to you from Fort Lauderdale, where tonight it is the NHL skills competition. We're getting into that and more today on the show. But first, the lead. The lead today is just simply that I'm having a great time. I went for a nice walk along the beach for about 40 minutes this morning, went and checked out the NHL All-Star Fan Festival, and it was unbelievable. And the way I'm taking this just right off the jump today is we had a question on the Oilers Nation mailbag that comes out every Monday that was wondering how we can make the All-Star game better. How can the event mean more? And the way I want to take this is just by saying, it doesn't have to mean anything. The fan festival, there's a ton of people down there. They have like 40 different booths set up. You could kill a whole day just wandering around there and getting free stuff and getting a chance to meet some players as well. There's 4 or 5 of them signing autographs in little tents. It's a great time when you're here. And what the All-Star Weekend is meant for is not to give us a meaningful hockey game where guys are throwing body checks and going all crazy. It's not to give us a game that means anything. It's supposed to be a weekend where the best players all come to one spot. The sponsors all get whatever they want. They get what makes them happy. And the fans who are in the city get to experience kind of in a way a once in a lifetime event. And that's what the fans in Fort Lauderdale are getting here. A lot of people who traveled in that I was talking to who are from different markets. It's a great weekend and a great celebration of the sport. So let's cool it on the whole. It doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't mean anything. And that's the point. It's nothing but a fun weekend. I get it. Watching on TV, it's just like, it's boring. The 3-on-3 tournament, the guys are going 50%. It's whatever, but the weekend is about everything that goes around the game, not necessarily the game itself. And I understand that might just be like, oh man, a take from a guy who is down here. But trust me, like I've floated out the question 100 times. Would you rather have a draft or an all-star game in your city? I'm telling you, it's All-Star game. All-Star weekend blows draft weekend out of the water in terms of what you get from an experience perspective. It's a ton of fun. There's people walking all over the beach wearing NHL gear. Like I said, the fan festival is a good time as well. So no, All-Star weekend means nothing. And yes, that is exactly how it should be done. Let's go back up to Edmonton and bring in my pal Liam Horrobin, who is holding down the fort. And I'm hearing a rumor you're making Chris Butties on Oilers Nation Radio today?
Chris Butties will be made on the show today, so a little bit of extra sound on the show at some points too. So enjoy that. We got a variety of flavors and 1 bun and 1 butter. So I think the boys are ready to have some Chris Butties today. I've had a lot of people message me as well, showing me Chris Butties that they've recently made. So I think this might start a trend, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I did see a couple people sending you pictures on Twitter. We are streaming live on the Nation Network, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages. Our boy Rusty, the Reckless Optimist, is in with the first comment and says, I don't know about y'all, but I am very excited to watch the skills competition tonight. It's gonna be a great time. Brody's in and says, I haven't gotten to watch an all-star game in a few years, hoping they can make it exciting. The unis are fresh. The jerseys are actually unbelievable as well. And Lance is back in from the north side. He's done working nights, and he is back. Love to see it. Day 6 without an Oilers game. But if you need your hockey fix, yes, the skills competition is going tonight. Liam and I are going to play a fun game later on, I think. Liam, should we do it now? Should we have the fun now?
We may as well. We may as well have it now. There's no point in waiting around.
So here's what we're doing. Liam and I are going to try to accurately predict who will win each event in the skills competition. And I was thinking, as I went for my long walk on the beach and pondered life amongst other things, I thought, how could we make this meaningful? And I was like, I don't want to just wager money, because that's no fun. Nobody wants to lose money. But here's what we're going to do. Liam and I will take turns trying to pick in each event, take turns who goes first, I should say, picking who's going to win each event. Whoever gets the most right, Liam, gets to pick the outfit for the other person for whatever show they want next week. So you get to either
Yeah.
dress me or I get to dress you in whatever for a show next week. You can be as outrageous as you want, as long as there's no nudity, because I'm sure there's some people saying go tarps off for this one. So let's dig into it. First off, how confident are you in your abilities? Do you feel like you have a good grasp on the skills comp?
No, I don't even know what all the competitions are, to be honest. I'm just going to go off the top of my head when I see him, and I'm going to bet with my heart, as Jay would say.
All right, Liam's going to bet with his heart. I've done a lot of research. I've crunched the numbers. I'm absolutely kidding. I have not done that. But Liam, let's dig into it. Producer Aaron is going to throw him our way in whatever order he wants. And Liam, I'm going to let you go first in terms of picking the winner. So throw one up, Aaron. What are we dealing with first here?
Okay, so we got hardest shot off the bat. So what's that? Darlene, Seth Jones, Pedersen, Ovechkin, and Josh Morrissey. I don't think Ovechkin will win this one. I feel like that's an obvious one. I don't think it's Ovechkin. I'm going to put my money on Josh Morrissey.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep.
I am going with Ovi. I think this is a slam dunk. This is an easy event for a guy to get up for. I think he can throw some extra oomph behind his shots. So I love taking Ovi in this one, Liam. I think he's got the best shot out of these guys. My dark horse would have actually been Elias Pettersson. That was going to be sort of my secondary one if I didn't get Ovi, because I think Pettersson's got an absolute rocket of a shot. But I like Ovi's chances of getting up there to triple digits in the hardest shot competition. So I'm going Ovi, and you are going with Josh Morrissey, a guy Frank Saravalli sat down with yesterday for an exclusive one-on-one that you can find with the new pod, Frankly Speaking, next week. Let's go to event number 2 here, Liam. NHL Accuracy Shooting. We got Nazem Kadri, Draisaitl and McDavid, Barkov, Jack Hughes, Brock Nelson, Artemi Panarin, Kevin Hayes, Vlad Tarasenko, and Nikita Kucherov are the 8 or 10 participants in this event. I am going to go first.
Okay.
I got to keep it Homer. I got to go with a hometown pick here. I'm going to go ahead. Leon Draisaitl last year was miserable in this event. He did not have a good time. I think he timed out, I believe, and didn't even hit all 4 targets. I'm going to say he bounces back. I'm taking Leon Draisaitl.
Okay, I'm going McDavid.
Sure.
We'll go head to head.
I like it. The 2 Oilers guys going head to head. I do actually think, like, just looking at that list, there's a bit of randomness to this event because you could just miss a sign by like a hair, right? And so there is that element to it. Nikita Kucherov, Vlad Tarasenko, I think those are both 2 guys to watch in this one. But Connor and Leon, we're splitting up the dynamic duo, so I don't mind that at all. Before we get to event number 3, I'm going to take a look at what's going on in the chat here. QF Pro, McDavid to win the accuracy shooting at plus 350. I don't hate that at all. Peter, there was a comment about McDavid not doing the fastest skater. We'll get to the fastest skater in just a second. Dr. Gonzo says Morrissey or Ovi. Sergeant Battles betting Pettersson in the hardest shot as well. I like my pick of Ovi. Tyson says, I bet Draisaitl goes 4 for 4 if he just throws backhands. I mean, maybe that'll be an approach Draisaitl takes. So take him right on his backhand. Why not?
I mean,
all right, Aaron, what do you got next?
Better.
The Breakaway Challenge.
Okay.
So
you want me to read them out?
Yeah, sure. You read them out.
Okay. We got David Pastrnak, the future Seattle Kraken man. Matthew Tkachuk, Mitch Marner, Ovi, and Sid the Kid. So I get to pick first, right? It's my pick.
Yes, but I think you need some context here, Liam. Here is the rules for this one. Shooters can start their routine from anywhere in the neutral zone and have full access to the offensive zone, including behind the net. NHL penalty shot rules do not apply. Each skater will attempt 1 shot, and a panel of judges will rate each shot on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, I have some insider-ish info on this, although the graphic kind of throws it away. I wasn't going to share it with you, but I will. Ovi and Crosby are a team in this event.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go with them 2 then. Double my chances. They got to come up with something good, right? I feel like there'll be the favoritism of like the 2 veteran guys playing together. Who are the judges? Do we know the judges?
I do not know who the celebrity judges are.
Well, I'll go with Ovi and Sid.
Okay. I'm going to take the hometown guy. I think the crowd's going to get the loudest for Matt Tkachuk. I think he has the most incentive to do something like really, really cool in front of the hometown crowd down here in Florida. So I'm going to take Matt Tkachuk to win the Breakaway Challenge. So to recap our picks so far, hardest shot, I went Ovi. Liam went Morrissey. Accuracy, I went Leon. You went Connor. Breakaway Challenge, you took the Sid and Ovi duo, and I am taking the hometown guy, Matt Tkachuk, our best friend, former Calgary Flame, Matt Tkachuk. Aaron, what do you got next? We doing fastest skater? We are. Kale
All right.
Makar, Andrei Svechnikov, Dylan Larkin, Kevin Fiala, Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov, and the odds-on favorite, I don't know how you could pick against him, Chandler Stevenson. It is my turn to go first, though. I am going to pick against Chandler Stevenson, actually. And I'm going to take Kale Makar, Liam, smooth skating D-man, our AJHL boy. I like Kale Makar. I think he probably is the favorite, even though Dylan Larkin has the record. Remember, he got a head start. He got that running start the year he set that record. So I like Kale Makar to win this event.
Yeah, I was going to go with Makar, too. I was hoping I would get this one first. I mean, I'll go with Larkin. I feel like he's the closest one.
That's easy, yeah.
I mean, you would have thought we both would have picked Chandler Stevenson, but we're basically picking for second place here.
Yeah. And I do have an idea for a tiebreaker as well. I'll get to that at the end. People were wondering in the chat, and this is actually a question I threw to Frank Saravalli. Connor McDavid told the NHL he doesn't want to do the fastest skater. Is that fair or foul? Are you cool with McDavid saying, nah, I'm not doing that? Or do you think he should maybe do it just for the spectacle?
No, I think he's fine. He's participating. He just wants to do different things in the competition. Every single year, he's just the fastest skater. He wants to prove himself in another event. And I also think it adds a cool storyline that him and Leon are both in the same event, so it could go head-to-head against each other. I think that's a cool little layer.
Yeah. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I just think that would be the marquee thing. That is what would get people to tune in. He is the best skater in the NHL. We all know that. But it's like Frank made the point on Daily Face-Off Live. It's like Michael Jordan in the dunk contest, right? Everyone goes there. They don't want to see Connor McDavid hit 4 targets. They want to see how fast he can rip around the ice. And I get that there's pressure, and Dylan Larkin in the past has talked about how you got to keep your legs fresh all day and the stretching that goes into it. It's a tough event to get up for. There's a risk of injury as well with just having to go from standing around to ripping a lap as fast as you can. So, like, I don't hate it. I just really would have liked to see him do it. And I think the storyline of everyone trying to beat Connor in the fastest skater is kind of cool. So that's my take on that one. Clay says in the prime of his career, Jordan wasn't doing the dunk contest anymore. And yeah, sure, that's a fair point as well. And Connor McDavid, to his credit, has never said no to an all-star game. He's shown up to everyone he's been invited to. And I think that's important as well. Rusty says McDavid doesn't need to prove anything. I'd rather see McDavid shoot than do a lap. And I guess that's fair. Why risk an injury? I mean, everyone who's doing it is risking an injury. So I don't know. That's again, like, I would like to see it, but I can understand where he's coming from in that one. So that is where we're at. So we did fastest skater. So we got kind of the 4 traditional player ones out of the way. They're also adding in a couple of new events this year. So Aaron, you can throw that one up with the splash shot. Now, I've told this story, or Frank told this story on DFO Live. Apparently the filming of this didn't go that great. I don't know who won. I just heard that they ran into some issues. So I wonder how it'll be edited. But basically, teams of 2, McKinnon Crosby, the Tkachuk brothers, Makar and Rantanen, and Shesterkin and Adam Fox are your 4 teams. And the semifinal was 2-on-2. One guy's in the dunk tank, one guy's shooting, and you're shooting trying to sink your opposition first. Then, the winning teams meet in the final. I think they switch players probably, and then they do it again. So, Liam, whose turn is it? It is your turn to go first. Who do you like to win the splash shot event?
I think I'll go with the Tkachuk brothers on this one. I'm going to put my money on the Tkachuks.
I mean, it's a decent storyline. I'm going to go with the other duo that isn't teammates, and that's Crosby and McKinnon. I like that storyline. The Halifax boys, right?
Halifax.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going Sid and McKinnon. I also think they're the best two shooters probably in this event. So give me Sid and give me Nate Mack for my splash shot one. Two more events for us to pick from. Liam, what's next?
Okay.
The pitch and puck event. And I'm going to hit you with the description that the NHL sent out for this event because it's another one of the kind of weird ones or different ones that they threw in this year. 4 NHL players competing on a par 4 island green using a combination of hockey and golf shots. Winners determined by the lowest score. If there is a tie, the tiebreaker is the longest drive of the group. So I'm on the understanding they're going to play a par 4 where like they got to take a golf shot and then the next shot they have to shoot a hockey puck, and then where that lands they put a golf ball and shoot again, and they play the par 4 that way. Interesting. This requires some knowledge of who is and isn't good golfers, and I will
Yep.
never shy away from a chance to take a shot at the Calgary Flames. Our boy Johnny Gaudreau's done a lot of golfing throughout the course of his career. So how could I not take Johnny Hockey in this event? The Columbus Blue Jacket. Give me Johnny Hockey to win the golf event.
Yeah, you definitely be playing golf this summer quite a lot. I'm gonna go with Clayton Keller for the sole reason of I'm not sure he's ever played a playoff game, so therefore he's probably been on the golf course a
Yep.
lot while other people are skating around.
Lives in Arizona.
He lives in Arizona, can play all year. Robertson and Suzuki both had pretty good. Like Suzuki, obviously, with the Stanley Cup final or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, I'll go
Yep.
with Clayton Keller as mine.
I like that we did just base this solely off playoff participation. It's a good angle. It's the only kind of insight we have into this whole thing. I don't actually know who's good and who isn't good at golf. The Oilers have a player participating in Tendy Tandem this year. That is Stuart Skinner, one of the 8 goalies taking part in the event. You're going to be going first for this one, Liam. You got all the names: Allmark, Vasilevsky, Saros, Sorokin, Shesterkin, Hellebuck, Skinner, and Logan Thompson, the 2 Pacific Division goalies. The 2 Pacific Division rookie goalies as well are options. But where are you going?
So this is the one where they go 1-on-1, right? And they make as many saves as they can.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go with I think I'll go with Hellebuck and Saros. Do I pick
You only
one or
pick
2?
one.
Oh, okay.
I think you. Oh, actually, no. That's a good point. That's a good point. Let's pick division. So you're going to take the Central.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to read the rules on this one. You think we would have been more prepared? Yeah, okay, you're right. It is Central versus Pacific to start, and then Atlantic versus Metro for the second one. All right. The difference this year, whoa, this is actually kind of neat. You can tell we barely prepped for the show today.
Yes.
The shooting goalie, each division is going to designate a shooting goalie and an in-net goalie. The shooting goalie from a division will take a shot from the designated mark. 3 points if the shot goes in the hole, 2 points if the shot hits the in-net target, no points if the shot misses the net. The in-net goalie from the opposing division will face a number of players as well. So there's actually an angle now where one of these goalies, I think, is just going to have like a player stick, or maybe it's a goalie stick, I don't know, but he's going to be shooting pucks into like a shooter-tutor. Interesting.
Well, it definitely won't be Skinner then.
I was going to say, our boy Stu, not the best puck handler. So he's probably not a great pick here. Give me the Metro goalies. I'll take Shesterkin and Sorokin. I think that's the best duo.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking that too.
So,
like Shesterkin's a pretty good puck handler if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
I think he is too. All right, so there's our picks. Okay, let's recap them. Hardest shot, I have Ovi. Who do you have?
Morrissey.
Okay, accuracy, Leon and
McDavid.
Breakaway, I took Kachuk.
I took Crosby and Ovechkin.
Okay, fastest skater, I'm on Makar.
I took Larkin.
The splash shot, I'm taking the Halifax boys, Crosby and McKinnon.
And I took the Kachuk brothers.
And then pitch and puck, I'm taking Johnny Hockey.
Clayton Keller.
And Tendy Tandem, I'm going Shesterkin and Sorokin from the Metro.
And I went Saros and Connor Hellebuck. From
there you go.
What are they, the Central? Yeah. So what's the tiebreaker? What did you say? You had an idea for a tiebreaker?
Because there is a chance that we each get the same number right or wrong. So the tiebreaker, Liam, is going to be how hard will the hardest shot be this year in the tournament? In miles per hour.
So What's the record? Do we know? Isn't it like 107?
Yeah, the record is high. It's like 107 or 108 from Chara.
Okay, I'll say 102 is the hardest
102,
shot.
just dead even
Yeah,
102.
102 dead on
Okay.
the dot.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit higher than you. I'm gonna go 102.6.
What the
102.6.
heck?
Closest one.
Okay. So what is the range here? So if I get like, what if it's like 102.3?
Okay, then I'll go a hair lower. I'll go 102. I'll go a hair higher. I'll go 102.7. So 103. There is no middle ground.
Okay, that works. That's
I
ridiculous.
mean, we might not need the tiebreaker. All right.
There you go.
Before we keep moving along, got to give some love to our friends at Star Mechanical. They've been one of Edmonton's top new home plumbing installers for the last 20 years. If you need some work done, if you want to find out more, head over to their website, starmechanical.ca. Also, a big shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant. I had a stand-up yesterday with Frank Saravalli after Media Day that was brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant. If I could have driven the Nation truck down here, trust me, I would have. You can check out their website, sherwoodford.ca. We will have another Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day edition of the show at or coming up on Tuesday when the Oilers take on the Detroit Red Wings. Let's dig into Frank Saravalli's trade targets here, Liam. That was the second kind of area we wanted to go here on the show. Timo Meier is the new number one on Frank Saravalli's list. And, you know, obviously the Oilers aren't in on a guy like Timo Meier. They have no long-term need for a piece like Timo Meier. They don't need to pay that kind of a price, but there are some interesting names on this list a little bit lower down that I'm just fascinated by from an Oilers perspective. And one of them is Sam Lafferty of the Chicago Blackhawks. I know there's a bunch of you guys in the chat who have been talking a lot about Sam Lafferty as a potential fit. He's now up to number 11 on Frank Saravalli's trade targets board. And just after reading sort of the scouting report of Lafferty, I think this is a dream fit for the Oilers. He's tied for second in the NHL in shorthanded goals. This guy skates like an absolute demon. He has very, very good boots. He kills penalties really well. The Oilers could use both of those things in their bottom six. He can play center or he can play the left side. That's the one area where he's maybe not a great fit, is because he's playing center or left wing. They could probably use some extra help on the right side, especially if they move on from a guy like Jesse Puljujarvi. But he has one more year at $1.15 million. He is a cheap contract. He is under control for another season. He's 27 years old. This is the kind of guy, helps you on the PK. He's got 8 goals this year, so he brings a little bit of offense, 3 of them shorthanded, of course, and he probably only costs you a second or a third round pick. I think the Oilers should be calling on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of checks the boxes, right? And the fact he's only 1 point, however much you said for next year, like that's a big one for the Oilers. So yeah, I would be looking at him maybe later on in the day rather than right off the bat. But I think he's definitely someone the Oilers should be considering.
And I have a second idea because I know we got to wrap up the show here at right at 10:30 or 12:30. Sorry. I was asked today about Gustav Nyquist, the forward for the Columbus Blue Jackets, who is on Frank Saravalli's trade targets board. Granted, he's just, a little bit lower down at 18. The Blue Jackets announced earlier this week that Gustav Nyquist will miss the remainder of the regular season, and Frank says that's actually increased his likelihood of a trade because he's got a $5.5 million cap hit. But if he's out for the rest of the regular season, any team acquiring him can basically Kucherov him. I actually think Gustav Nyquist might be more of a dream fit for the Oilers now that he's been injured than he would have been before. And the proposal I'm going to throw your way, just hear me out on this one.
Okay.
The Oilers trade the Blue Jackets, Warren Foegele, and throw in a 4th round pick. Maybe you don't even have to throw in a pick. Warren Foegele for Gustav Nyquist. The Blue Jackets are going to get some value for a guy who's not going to play the rest of the year. They'll get a warm body in Warren Foegele, a guy that can play in their bottom 6, and they'll have him for next year when, maybe if he has a bounce back year, they could flip him next year at the trade deadline. It's a decent asset for them to pick up. They need NHL players. The Oilers not only get Gustav Nyquist, who could potentially just slide right into their bottom 6 on night 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but they're also going to lose the money from Warren Foegele. So maybe that's where it makes sense for them to attach a pick to this deal as well, because you'll get an upgrade to your bottom 6 in Gustav Nyquist for the playoffs, And for trade deadline money, you're going to free up $2.75 million with Warren Fogel's cap hit. So I think it's just kind of a win-win situation for everyone here. And the idea of acquiring Nyquist while moving out salary makes you better come playoff time and gives you some extra money to throw around at the NHL trade deadline. Huh?
I mean, I love the idea. So here's a question I have about it, though. Do the Oilers need to have that cap space available to put him on an active roster and then move him to LTIR?
That's an original Puzar question. He would have the answer on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think so, because I think you would just bring him in and throw him right to LTIR like on that day. So I don't think you would need the cap space to like bring him on the roster first.
So I mean, a way that I guess they could do it if this comes soon, just keep Yamamoto on the LTIR for the time being. You move out Fogel's money, and then you just have it there. Put Nyquist there. Call up Yamamoto. Should be all good, right?
I think so. I think that's pretty much the thinking.
Yeah. So I mean, why wouldn't you want a guy like that, right? Proven he can score goals in the league. Did he play with Holland? Would have drafted him in Detroit, right? So there's a relationship there. We should have probably assumed that Nyquist would have been a target for the Oilers since like September, to be honest.
He would have been, yes.
Yeah.
He has been a target. They are interested in him.
Yeah. So yeah, I like Nyquist. He's and with that too, of the fact he's not even going to play till the playoffs, like why would you not want a guy like that? Isn't that what we all wanted the Oilers to do with Cade? Like, you know,
100%, dude. Yeah. All right. Those are my trade targets ideas. I like the idea of Lafferty if he's going to be cheap and he can help you for multiple seasons. I like the idea of Gustav Nyquist if you can move out some salary in the transaction. He just might be worth giving up a draft pick for. It'll be really interesting. We'll see what they can end up getting from Gustav, or what the Blue Jackets end up getting for Gustav Nyquist. Who knows what that injury is like as well. Like, if he's going to be out for the first round of the playoffs, or they think it's going to be close, I could see a lot of teams just going, not even worth our time. But even if that's the case, for the Oilers, it might just be a situation of, we get the money from moving out a Fogel or a Puljujarvi right now. We bring in Nyquist. He's ready to go for the NHL playoffs, because it's looking like the Oilers are going to be a playoff team. Whoa, my camera's doing some wild stuff right now, hey?
Oh, yeah. You're pink and green all at the same time.
Miami's
is crazy, man.
Right now?
Just those Miami vibes. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I've only had one Bud Light Lime today. This shouldn't be kicking in. I shouldn't be seeing things like this. All right, Liam, I'm gonna let you handle things. Do you have anything for Betway prepared?
I just had a couple of things, but they were mostly that. So I'll just read them off right now. They were McDavid to score 3 or more goals in the semifinal, whenever that is, and then also the Pacific Division to win and to score the most goals overall in the semifinal. So just banking on the hometown team. We obviously want to see McDavid and Draisaitl show off what they can do, and our boy Stu can just ride it out and just close the door on whoever they go up against in the semis. Is it just me? I wasn't sure if I was closing out the show then. Okay, there we go.
I'm back. I'm on a different guy. Yeah, I'm on a different camera now. I'm just on my laptop camera. But I do love that our friends at Betway have a ton of things that you can bet on. You can bet on Connor McDavid to get 5 points in the semifinal at plus 175. I don't hate that at all. You could also bet on, maybe like Connor to score a hat trick, paying out plus 275 in that first one. It's a good spot. The Pacific Division is the biggest underdogs as well to win the thing straight up. So I think you're getting them. You can get them at plus 325 to win this tournament. I don't mind that value, Liam. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I mean, it pays out nicely. I mean, that's the team, if anyone's going to be watching from this show, that's the team we're watching. So we may as well put a bit of money on it.
Why not? Why not? Shout out to our friends at Betway 19 Plus. Please play responsibly. Liam, I know you need to go in a minute, but we do have to do our giveaway courtesy of our friends at Montana's. A $25 gift card. And we have the winner. Our sales team, our marketing team, they did the draw for us. Liam, can you give me a little drum roll?
I don't know. Can anyone hear that?
I can't. There you go. That's much better. The big winner is on Twitter, the handle W_82. W_82. You're getting $25 to Montana's. Shoot us a DM. Our sales and marketing team will be DMing you as well. You're getting $25 to go check out the fantastic daily deals at Montana's. And with that, we are wrapping up today's show. Enjoy All-Star Weekend, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to all the content we've been doing live from Florida as well. It's been an absolute blast. I'm going to have way more coming on the Oilers Nation Instagram. I might even do a Q&A during the skills competition today. So keep it locked on the Insta. Keep it locked on the Twitter. We'll have a ton more coming from Fort Lauderdale. Enjoy your weekend. Liam, my man, I'll talk to you soon on Oilers Nation Radio. Thanks for watching, everybody.